today's live stream and video. New week, and start off by saying what I always say: I'm so grateful for abundance in my mindset and in my life. So, welcome to today's Motivational Monday. For those who are tuning in live and those who are tuning in the replay, thank you very much. So, today we are going to be talking about some form of motivation, and everybody needs motivation in something in their lives. It's not always just motivation to do things in our lives. Sometimes the motivation is in motivating ourselves to get back into exercise. Sometimes the motivation could be for motivating to get on a diet plan or exercise plan or many other things. But we're going to talk about motivation in life in general. Every single human being needs motivation to be happy, to have peace and joy in their lives. And for me, I had to learn what I needed in my life. What motivation did I need? What was I lacking? And then having enough courage to do that, to be an advocate for myself. I didn't grow up knowing what it was to be an advocate. I didn't know about personal awareness. I didn't know how to be compassionate to myself. But whatever it is that happened to you in the past is the past, and today is today, and we can work on being a better us. You can work on being a better you. And I love that about being an adult, is that we can be the catalyst for change. You could be maybe the first person in your family to be a role model for motivation. I can't say I'm the first person in my family, but I definitely feel like I have brought positive change into my family dynamic in working on being motivated to whatever your situation has been, okay? Whatever your life has been. Maybe you've been unhealthy. Try to do things to get yourself healthy. Maybe you don't like your job, or maybe you don't like your health, or you don't like the way you've been treated, or maybe you have some unresolved issues from your past. Whatever it is that we need motivation for, you can do it. You got to think about yourself and your personal situation, and then have enough courage to say, this is what I need to get motivated at. Hi, CXX fan. How are you? Welcome. I know I need to learn to get excited about my life and what do I want to do and what makes me happy, not just having a job. And I'm not trying to come for anybody, make fun of anybody, because a job is a job. You know, you have to survive. But for me, I am a person that has always wanted more. I didn't just want to have a job for 30, 40 years of my life until I retire. I want to do something that filled up my cup, live according to my lifestyle, my expectations. And it takes a lot of courage to be able to say, I want something different. I'm going to be a trendsetter. I'm going to be a way maker. I'm going to break generational curses. I'm going to change the trajectory of my life. And it takes courage to be that woman or to be that man, especially when the odds seem to be stacked against you. Because I can say that the odds seem to be stacked against me. You know, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't grow up knowing and learning a lot of things, but I had to have that for myself. Thank you to whoever is giving me hearts. I really appreciate it. I had to have that for myself. I had to learn what I needed, and then giving myself the permission to do those things one thing at a time. I didn't grow up being a person that was a positive person. You may not even realize that you weren't grown up to be positive. You don't understand why you're always upset and angry all the time. All of those things from your childhood or past relationships, it sits with you. It resides with you until you do some inner work and healing. What role did I play in the situation? And if I didn't play a role, what did I allow? Because yes, we do, Gems family, allow people to run over us and to use us, you know. And it's okay, you know, don't beat yourself up, don't be too tough on yourself, but it's about learning a lesson and letting yourself grow. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're doing good, CXX fam. You really have to give yourself the permission to elevate and to grow. And I grew up not having a good way of knowing how to express myself, communicate what I wanted, what I needed. I didn't feel like it was possible for me to do those things. Hi, Latrell. How are you doing? Hi, Mama Heart. How are you? Welcome. I didn't feel like I had the tools. I didn't think that it was possible for me to do some great things. Thank you, Mama Heart. How are you doing? Welcome. I didn't think it was possible for me to change the trajectory of my life. And I think that's something that is so important, is no matter what you've come from, no matter what other people may say about you, no matter who likes you or dislikes you, no matter your health situation, mental health, your financial situation, where you're living, you can inspire, motivate, and shift your life if you want to, you know? And I love that. I love that for me, and I love that for you. It all starts here, right? It starts here and in your mind, and giving yourself the permission to have a new way of thinking, giving yourself the permission to have new friends, to put yourself in the uncomfortable zone in order for you to get comfortable eventually. See, it's not about where you have been, but it's all about where you want to go. It's about where you want to go. See, and for me, I knew that there was things that I wanted to do in my life, and there's no way that I could do the things that I wanted to in my life if I was doing a 9 to 5. And like I said, I'm not clowning anybody, making fun of a 9 to 5. Everybody has to know what they want to do. But as for me, I've always been a person where I don't want to be micromanaged. I know what I like. I want to be able to have control of how long I stay. Sometimes I want to work 17 hours straight, and I've done that. You work 17 hours, and then other times I don't want to work that day at all. Sometimes I want to work 15, 20 minutes, and I want to bounce because it's a beautiful day outside. So that is the space that I'm in right now. I'm trying to not work to be able to survive. I want to be able to live, to thrive. And that is the motivation that I want to give to everybody. It's not just living. It's not just surviving, it's living. So whatever that looks like for you, in changing your life and wanting to do better, wanting to shift your life. So for me, I had to learn how to take better care of all of the pieces of me, taking better care of my mindset, taking better care of my focus, taking better care of my skin, my body, the way that I was eating, my spirit, and the people that I was allowing to affect my mind, you know. And we do. I don't care what anybody has to say. When you have people that put you down, that make fun of you, that clown you, that don't support you, it does affect you. I don't care if you could be the strongest woman or the strongest man. We all need positive encouragement. We all need positive feedback. We all need for someone to pat us on the back and to say, good job, you're doing fantastic. And when I was looking at my life and my upbringing, I never got that, you know. And I'm not clowning or making fun of my upbringing, because I think every single woman or man, every single parent, they do the best that they can. And I'm grateful for everything that my mom and my dad and the other people who raised me, they did the best that they could. Now as an adult, now it's time for me to do the best that I can for me. So I knew that I had a lot of issues for my emotional baggage that I was bringing in and carrying along. And as we get older, that baggage, that emotional baggage, it gets heavier and heavier to carry, right? It does. And I got tired of feeling a certain way, but you really don't know what to do in order to make your life better. So I am a person that I took myself to therapy. I took my butt to therapy and I said, I don't know what this is going to do for me, but I don't want to always feel like less than. And people will say, oh, you can get over that and that part of your life is over. But when you've been browbeat, put down, not supported for years, abandoned, and the list goes on and on, it does have an impact on you and how you treat yourself. And I said, I don't just want to live anymore. I want to thrive. I want to excel. I want to elevate. I want to overflow in abundance so that I can give my overflow to other people. See, I didn't know what it was like to live in abundance. I didn't know what it took. But for my first step in motivating and being my best self was healing my inner child, healing my mindset, learning a new way of thinking. How should I take care of myself? What is my fault and what is not? And also learning about boundaries. And boundaries are something that the majority of the population does not understand and does not enforce. So for example, the majority of people have expectations about the way everybody in their life treats them. They expect to get phone calls, they expect to be supported, they expect to be treated well. But at the same time, if you're not communicating and saying, this is what I want specifically, not just making an assumption, feeling that people know. And for me, coming from a broken generation of not being taught that, I just would think, they've known me my whole life. They must know what irritates me. They must know what makes me happy. So I had to learn to shift that, and that is my motivation that I'm giving to somebody too. Don't go into any relationships or the ones that you currently possess expecting for people to know what you want, what you need, and how to support you if you have not specifically told them. Like for instance, I have people in my life that they know that I need morning and nighttime text messages. I'm not a person who needs with like, I love you, I love you, I love you all day long, but just a morning or a nighttime check-in, that's sufficient for me. It's good. And other people who I'm closer to, I may need a phone call, maybe about lunchtime, something like that. But every single person, it varies, and you have to know yourself. And I'm grateful that therapy taught me that I shouldn't expect something but not voice it. So that is part of shifting into a positive mindset and shifting into being a woman, or if you're a man that knows what they want. And a woman or a man that knows what they want, they know how to communicate effectively, not putting anybody down, just saying, I would appreciate this, this, and this. Thank you so much for subbing. Welcome to the Gems family. I always say that I think it's so important. Hi, S&J, how are you? I always say that it's so important to not expect for people to give us something, but we have not spoken up. We haven't said, I need this, this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. Hi, Shadow, Scout, Sweet, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We have to stop expecting things from people that sometimes we don't even know what we want, but we expect for other people to know. So, that was the part of being motivated, is taking a break from other people. And I took a 2 to 3 week respite, and I poured into myself during that time. asking myself real questions, some inner dialogue, and how am I really doing? Not just the facade, the fake thing, the mask that you put on for people that really don't care about you, but asking yourself the real conversation, like with yourself, being self-aware. How am I doing? How is my mental health? How is my physical health? Am I happy? Do I have peace in my life? Am I doing my life's work? And when the answer was no, I needed to say, okay, now we're going to work on this one by one so I can improve the quality of my life, you know, the quality, having peace in my life, working in my life's work, and feeling fulfilled, not just doing work, but doing work that makes me feel restored. I feel like I'm doing something good. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for dropping emojis. I believe it. I really appreciate it. Hi Bennett, how are you doing? Hi Miss Key, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. Shadow says, well, I am doing pretty good. But I'm floating away in this heat. Oh man, I know it's so hot. It's so hot, everybody. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, hydrating, eating, doing all of the things that you need to do. I hope everybody's doing awesome. Happy Monday. Happy new week to all of the Gems family. Hi. So I'm getting back into this topic about motivational Monday and being our best self. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it took me many years, I think almost 7 years, for me to get to the space in my life where I could say, not only do I like myself, but I love myself, and I'm my own best friend. Hi Latanya, how are you doing? I was waiting for you to come in to the stream today so I could give you a mod. So yeah, awesome. So I hope you got your mod now. Miss Key says, yes, just finished my 1 mile walk for today. Awesome, Miss Key. That's what I'm talking about. Take care of yourself. Shadow says, I drink constantly, more or less. Yes. So today I wanted to focus on my Gems family. I just shared a little bit of my testimony about some of the things that I needed to do to get motivated, and it's going to be different for every single person. I know that there are times that I have not poured into myself the way that I need to. I have not showed up for myself as a woman, taking care of my hair, my skin, my teeth, my whatever, my finances, my spiritual connection. I have not always done all the things that I needed to do, and this space is a safe space for everyone. Hi Martha, how are you? Welcome. This is a safe space for everyone to feel support, to feel encouragement, to give you some food for thought. How can I treat myself better? How can I grow in having real relationships that are lasting? And all of those things are some of the stuff that I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to love myself better, how to be a better friend to myself. And that's not an easy thing, because the majority of us are always the givers. I want to talk to the givers, and I want to say it's wonderful to be a giver, but you cannot give at the sacrifice of your peace, of your mental health, of you giving all your money away and then you are in a financial deficit. You're giving money away that you can't afford to lose. You're giving money to people who are just going to keep taking the money, but they don't learn the lesson. It's one thing. Everybody gets down. Everybody needs help or a handout from time to time. Everybody needs support. But one of the things that I believe in is teaching somebody how to fish. so that they can be able to take care of themselves for the rest of their life. And I know that the work that I do in life coaching and motivation and mentoring and living my personal best life has helped many people beyond just helping myself. Every time I teach somebody how to speak up for themselves, to hold your head up and not let a bully, a negative person, a toxic person, that I am doing what fulfills my soul. And I'm grateful for that. And I take it very seriously because I want you all to be in that space to say, maybe come back one day in one of my students said, Marlene, you know what? I left that toxic romantic relationship. You know, I got myself a better job. I got my education. I've impact of self-love. That's the impact of working on yourself. And the more that you work on yourself, you're going to protect your mental health. You're going to protect your well-being. You're going to take better care for yourself. So of course, you are going to benefit from the more motivated you are when it comes to yourself. See, I didn't understand before that I have to be motivated about myself. I have to be about my own business first instead of who I'm in a relationship with, friend list. That's not good. So I share these things to show you how I have learned that while I still do things for people, help and assist, but it does not think these days, I'm not going to do it. And even if you guilt me, even if you try to make me feel guilty, you ask me why, I'm not doing what I don't want to do. See, I know about boundaries now. And I feel that's how I'm breaking generational curses. I'm teaching my little nieces and nephews and anybody that is in my life to be empowered from a young age or to whatever age you are right now. I don't have to be like my ancestors were, that were broken and stuck and angry and bitter. Today I choose a better portion, my mind, my body, and my spirit. I choose to respect myself and to only have a choice. People can do what they want to, but if you come at me in a way that's negative and dark and using, and you think you're going to run over me and think you're going to come back, that's not going to happen. See, my cutoff game now is real, and I want to say that to all of you too, to all of my gems. Make sure your cutoff game is real. People can do things the first time. You don't know when someone does something the first, you run over you. Now it's shame on you. And it's time for us to improve and do better, because no matter what you think, you got somebody looking at you. It could be your kids, it could be friends, it could be workmates. People look how you treat yourself, and even who you're in a romantic relationship. If you want a person to treat you better, you first have to start treating yourself better in what you allow, and doing things and taking care of yourself. And taking care of yourself also means, you know what? I got to get my exercise. I got to take care of my skin, my hair, my everything, okay? I don't have time. Trauma, being used, abused, taken for granted. Trauma, being used, abused, taken for granted. It's hard. Things happen to us. It doesn't have to be stuck. Things happen to us. It doesn't have to be stuck. It doesn't mean that we're less than. It's just that there are individuals that just don't understand how to treat us because they don't respect themselves. And until somebody knows how to respect themselves and love themselves, they're most definitely not going to appreciate, love, and be a good friend for you. So it's important for us to validate ourselves, and for us to understand that there are people that we have to cut off. No matter how much we care about them, we have to cut off No matter how much we care about them, no matter how much we say they're our friend and they're our family, actually, family are the people who choose us back. And I feel that I am really blessed to be able to have people in my life that say they love me and they prove it, because love is an action word. If you love somebody, if you say those words, I love you, it's not I love you because of what you're going to do for me. It's I love you just because you exist. That's it. If you have to do something in order for people to say they love you, that's not love. That's a person who is manipulating your mind. That's a person who's trying to separate you from your money. That's a person who wants control over your mind, or they just want to be nosy and be in your business. And it's taken me years to get those concepts that just because you may care about somebody, it doesn't mean that they care back. And that hurts sometimes. You know, it hurts your heart. It breaks your spirit that why don't they love me? Why don't they care? But we can't keep ourselves there. We need to focus our energy on the ones that already do. So if you have good people in your life that support you, that check on you, that do all of the things that they need to do, make sure you are also validating them and thanking them. We forget sometimes about the people who are doing things in real time. We forget about that, right? I don't. I had to learn to check on my strong people. The people who are being strong for you, they usually don't really ask you for much. Make sure you're saying, thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for pouring into me when I'm down and discouraged and I'm weak. See, validation, it goes on both sides. We can't just always want validation and we don't validate and appreciate and pour into other people. It has to go both ways. I've always said the phone rings on both sides. You know, the door opens on both sides. So I had to also learn in my healing, I had to learn the times where I wasn't doing what I needed to do, and I needed to improve and be a better friend and be a better sibling and be better, because we can't want things from others and we are not doing the same things. Yes, exactly. Yes, not genuine at all. I agree with you about that. Yes, shadow. I know we're all learning. So that's one of the things that I always try my best to be respectful of other people in my life, and the individuals that love me, that pour into me, I give them the same energy. So I love that about life, is that don't ever let anybody take your joy away. Don't let anybody take your peace away. And if people have kind of broken you down, maybe your health has been affected, your mental health, we can always change that. That's the thing about life. At any time, we can give ourselves the permission to grow, to heal, to have peace. We can all do that. We can all be happier. We can all experience joy. We can all learn. We can all grow, but we can't give up. Don't give up. Okay? And I wanted to say that to all of my GEMS family, to those who have been here from the beginning for over 2 years, and those who are new, maybe it's your first time here, I encourage you to work on a relationship with yourself, to learn how to be your own friend. And it could be just by spending time alone. It could be learning how to have positive self-talk and speaking over your life. I'm very big on speaking over my life. I'm very, very big about speaking over my life. And you should be too. Because what we think about is what we receive, and what we receive affects how we show up in this life. So I had to learn to stop waiting for people to pour into me. I had to stop waiting to have a perfect circumstance or support or this or that. You have to show up and say, okay, this is my life. I see these people don't support me, so I'm going to separate myself from those individuals. And the ones that do, I'm going to say, I appreciate you, I love you, I'm going to be there for them, and forget about the others. You know, I think the majority of people, they put way too much energy and way too much time into what other people think, and giving so much of their power away. And we have to stop that. Nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. We have to stop giving our energy to people who don't deserve to have it. Right? Some people don't deserve your energy. They don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your love. They don't deserve things. You know, we have to learn to stop making it so easy for people to do things to us. We have to stop allowing people to disrespect us and expecting for them to change. We have to believe who people are when they show it. So if people show up and you know they're a loser, you're not going to change them. You know, don't pick up projects, okay? If you know a person always lies to you, you got to believe that they're a liar and leave them alone, you know? Hi, Goja's wife. How are you? So that's one of the things about life is learning where we're at, what we need to do, and then doing it, you know? When I found out that I had people in my life and they're just drama people, they attract drama. All they do is drama. All they do is drama, negativity, talking about people. They like to start things. They're very messy. And if you don't want to be associated with messy, you got to leave those messy people alone. And the same thing, if you have people who are angry, you being in their life isn't going to make them less angry. They're just going to project their anger, their fear, their insecurities onto you. So it's up to us, GEMS family, to work on us day by day, moment by moment, do the best that we can, and love on ourselves. Love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. See, many people don't understand that it's a personal relationship that you have to have with yourself. You have to know what you want. You have to know your direction. You have to have goals. You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you're just waking up every day and just doing whatever, that is the life that you're going to get. Latanya says, you got me feeling like I'm at church and the preacher is talking to me. I'm feeling it. Thank you, Latanya. That's one of the things that I had to learn that part. If I'm not happy with my life, you complaining about it, you talking about it to people who are they're not motivated, they're not going to change. So you're just gonna have to leave those people alone. You know, that's just what it is. And it hurts sometimes to cut off the toxic people. It hurts to cut off people that we really do love. But if the love is not reciprocated, if there's no balance, if there is no support, if a person isn't willing to give what you give to, then what is the worth? You know, people love to say how much they have all these people in their life and how, oh yeah, and they love me. But when you look at the quality of their life, okay, they love you, but how come they don't show up? And when's the last time someone called you without wanting something? Just wanted to give you something nice, just because. It doesn't have to be a holiday. I was just thinking about, I was out and I saw this and it reminded me of you and I bought it. Simple, plain. Those are the people that really truly love you and care about you. We have to stop going by titles and saying it's my sibling, or because somebody is your friend, or that's my boyfriend or girlfriend, that's my husband or wife. Just because people have these titles in our life, it doesn't mean that they care about you. Love is an action word, and what is the proof of that love? If they're not willing to prove it to you, you need to leave those people alone. And some people, you can't leave them alone forever because they may be a blood relative, but we can always change the energy that we show up with them. You can give anybody a human greeting, hello and goodbye, but you don't have to do more than that, hello and goodbye. Because I'm out here living my life. I'm out here living with courage, resiliency, and I give myself the permission to make mistakes, and I forgive myself on a daily basis. And I don't beat up myself for what I didn't do or when I doubt myself. I said, okay, let's move on. I give you the permission to move on, to forgive, and to be free. See, until we free our mind, other people will have power and control over us. Okay? So that was the motivation, everybody, on this Motivational Monday. I hope something that I said in here was something that you got some benefit from. It was something for you to think about. Now, after this live is over, I want you to think about how can you apply this to your life. Hey, DJ Ron, how are you doing? I want you to think about how can you apply some of these things to your life. How can you take better care of your mental health? How can you speak up and set boundaries, say no and mean it? How can you treat yourself better with your health? How can you work on being consistent and making plans and not allowing the outside energy to get inside and take power over your mind, body, and spirit? See, all of these things are up to us. But on today, on this Motivational Monday, I want you to think about how you can be happier, how you can personally have peace, how you can have joy, because each of us deserves it. It's not something we're asking for too much, but you have to be your own best friend first. You got to show up for yourself. You have to make plans. And if you really want to do something, you'll do it. See, I'm not an excuse person. If you want to do it, not just saying, because talk is cheap. It's time for some action. How are you going to show up for yourself today? That is today's motivation. Think about it, put a plan in place, and we will regroup on tomorrow. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.